Gratitude and happiness and peace is all goes hand in hand. And I got to say something about the Guatemalan people is they are so thankful and they will thank you over and over and over again. Just about 3 weeks ago, I had a guy come down. He's a pastor, but when he was 28 years old, he left the old order Amish and he had to explain why he left the Amish is his mother basically told him, every time he does something wrong, God's gonna judge him. And there was like no mercy or no forgiveness, and it was very, very legalistic and strict. And then he later, developed a relationship with God and realized that God was forgiving. But he had to leave the Amish. He loves the Amish. And, but he doesn't, he knows that that's wrong. That's keeping people from having a relationship and knowing a loving God that, forgives and wants to use us and lead us and forgive us. And
Well, Mark, I'm so inspired by what you're doing and your commitment to follow what you feel called to do. What maybe we'll kind of finish with this is, what have you learned about gratitude in your life? What it means to you or how you've seen that in others?
gratitude and happiness and peace is all goes hand in hand. And I got to say something about the Guatemalan people is they are so thankful and they will thank you over and over and over again. And, I've been to some countries that are more entitled and you give them and it's like they don't even bother to thank you because you owe it to them. And, but those people are not very happy. But yeah, gratitude. Yeah. And what does it say? And there's a verse in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God and Christ Jesus concerning you. So we need to give thanks in everything, even give you an example. Yesterday, I was flying back from the States. I was visiting a few churches and so, and my flight was delayed coming back. And I'm thinking, oh, great. If I come in, fly to Guatemala in midday, I don't have to battle the traffic to get back to the factory because it's a difference between probably rush hour adds an hour and a half, 2 hours to a 25-mile drive. And they kept delaying, and there was some maintenance problem on the plane. And, within about an hour of waiting, within an hour of waiting, I sat in a different place and sat next to a Korean pastor. And we had so much in common. And it was like I spent all of a sudden, it didn't matter that the flight was late because we're talking and just connecting on so many different levels. In fact, he's going to come here tomorrow with his wife and another couple they're with and visit the factory. So I wasn't very thankful that first hour that the flight was late. Then when I realized that, God wanted me to sit next to John Kim, Pastor John, and all of a sudden it didn't matter. I got home late and I had to fight the traffic and crawl and, bumper to bumper traffic for a couple hours. But anyway, sometimes we don't want to be thankful, but be thankful for everything because sometimes things don't go your way and there's a reason. So be thankful and have gratitude.